Welcome to another episode of Through Durkheim's Eyes. Emile Durkheim is one of the founding thinkers of sociology. He was born in France on April 15, 1858. He focused on how it is that a society can form and function. How can society maintain order and stability? For this reason, he is considered the creator of the functionalist perspective within sociology. He was most interested in the glue that holds society together. This glue includes experiences, perspectives, values, beliefs, and behaviors that allow people to feel a sense of belonging, and that they are working together to maintain the group in their common interests. This creates solidarity amongst society. Topics discussed will be division of labor, social facts, functionalist theory, mechanical and organic solidarity, and Anomie. Belize, a place with melting pot of cultures and breathtaking views. The Central American country has it all, from its glittering shores to its dense rainforest. The first inhabitants are the Mayans. They have settled here since around 1500 BC. Their 2,000-year-old temples still stand today. As mentioned before, Belize is a place with rich diversity, which includes Creoles, Mayans, Mestizos, Garifunas, East Indians, Mennonites, and Asians. There is an explosive mix of backgrounds and cultures in this English-speaking country. In this episode, we will be exploring the Belizean society in the eyes of Durkheim.
What is the division of labor? Well, the division of labor is the separation of a work process into a number of tasks, with each task performed by a separate person or a group of persons. It is most often applied to system of mass production, and it is one of the basic organizing principles of the assembly line. Emile Durkheim stated that specialization arose from changes in social structure caused by the assumed natural increase in the size and density of population and corresponding increase in the competition for survival. Division of labor functioned to keep societies from breaking apart under these conditions. Emile Durkheim also described how society maintains social order based on two very different forms of solidarity, mechanic and organic, and analyze the transition from more primitive society to advanced industrial societies. Types of society. Have you ever wondered what society was like before your lifetime? Maybe you wonder in what way has society transformed in the past few centuries? Humans have been created and live in several types of society throughout this world. Society has been classified into 6 categories which pose unique characteristics. Number 1 is hunting and gathering society. Hunting and gathering are members which survive primarily by hunting, trapping, fishing, and gathering plants. Number 2 is pastoral society. Pastoral society are societies that rely on products obtained through the domestication of breeding of animals for transportation. Number 3 is historical society. Historical society are societies that rely on cultivation of fruit, vegetables, plants in order to survive. Number 4 is agriculture societies. Agriculture societies rely on the use of technology in order to cultivate crops in large areas. Number 5 is industrial society. Industrial society are the development of machines and then factories placed in the plow and the agricultural equipment as the primary mode of production. And lastly, post-industrial society. Post-industrial society are increasing living standards in which have been called in the information technology age, as wireless technology views the machines and factories as the basis for our economy.
In regards to Durkheim's division of labor within our beautiful country Belize, There are various examples that are portrayed indistinctly. You can get an idea of how it looked like before Belize's population grew and there weren't enough jobs like there are today with some of these historic pictures. During the Great Depression in the 90s, the colony's economy was shattered and the unemployment increased rapidly. This resulted in small societies, for example the Maya groups, uniting and working together for survival. This relates to Durkheim's mechanical solidarity as he defined it as social solidarity based upon homogeneity of values and behavior, strong social constraint, and loyalty to tradition and kinship. The term applied to small, non-literate societies characterized by a simple division of labor, very little specialization of function, only a few social roles, and very little tolerance of individuality. So you can understand that this was exactly the case with these unemployed people sharing commonness as they work within a group of individuals that are family-like. Back then there weren't as many jobs like modern days. There were no room for individuality. People worked together. Thus, this example resembles Durkheim's mechanical solidarity. As the years pass and Belize gained independence, Belize has definitely evolved over the years. One of the main contributing factors for its development is population growth. People from foreign countries move to Belize for different reasons and the cultural group grows and becomes more diverse. This allows the country to have more specialized workers in a specific field to contribute to the country's progression in economy and development. Just look at how the country have gotten cleaner, more attractive, and seemingly alive. With regard to organic solidarity, Belize has transformed to a more complex society with systems of different functions united by definite relationships. Each individual have a distinct job or task and a personality that is their own. However, there are both pros and cons to division of labor in our country. For instance, an advantage is the fact that our Belizeans can get a nice job that serves purpose and benefit others within the country. However, a huge disadvantage comes along when jobs become rare to find, resulting in Belizeans having to leave the country to get a job that suits their education background. Nevertheless, Durkheim's division of labor helped Belize to develop and there's still a lot to accomplish. Just take a look at the pictures for yourself.
Now let's take a look at Durkheim's sociological perspective, the functionalist theory. Society is like a complex machine because it is a complex system where many interrelated and independent parts work together to maintain stability in society. There are two key components in this theory. First, social structure is a distinct, stable arrangement of institutions whereby human beings in a society interact and live together. This includes religion, family, law, economy, and class. Second, social function is the mechanism by which these structures are maintained. In other words, it questions the purpose of these social structures. You must keep in mind that this theory is a macro-level orientation. This approach here looks at society on a greater scale and as a whole. Furthermore, within these social functions, there are manifest functions that are the results society is paying for, whereas latent functions are also beneficial to society, however it is unintentional. Along with the good, even bad things can happen, which are dysfunctions. Sometimes undesirable consequences occur, however they exist to help make sure that society continues to function. These functions can vary for each social structure. In the end, they all work together to maintain stability within society, no matter what the situation may be. Now, let's take a look at how this theory is applied in Belize. In June 2020, the Prime Minister announced that the PGIA would reopen on August 15th, 2020.
We are able now to announce a firm reopening date for the PGIA.
However, due to the dramatic increase of COVID cases, it was postponed to October 1st. There were mixed feelings about this decision.
There are concerns, and I do think that as Belizeans, as a people, the concerns will always be there because we are always concerned about safety, about health. Those are the two main factors in this entire pandemic.
Tourism sector contributes to a great portion of the economy, and many Belizeans became unemployed, and hotels and restaurants were at risk of running out of business entirely. The aim of this decision was to get the economy back on track and to provide jobs. This would be the manifest function. In addition, it also gives citizens a sense of hope and normalcy. This would be the latent function. Along with its pros, it also has its dysfunctions. Belizeans' health are at risk. Although there are protocols put in place for travelers coming in, which includes testing, they are at risk when traveling. Symptoms can take days when infected by COVID-19, thus you won't get a positive result immediately. Since the UDP has been in government, the country of Belize has transformed much in terms of infrastructure, especially the construction of roads. As a result, there is safer travel, improved infrastructure, and employment. This is the manifest function. The latent function is that now there is easier access to places, thus there is more avenue for domestic trade. Unfortunately, the dysfunction is that this project has increased the depth of the country, which will take forever to.
Rapid coastal development brings many advantages. However, it has also caused many negative effects into our beautiful Belize. Coastal lands are being purchased by foreigners to establish business like resorts, hotels, and restaurants. This has increased employment in Belize. This is the manifest function. It has also increased tourism and contributes to the beautification of the country. It has also contributed to the development of Belize, which are the latent functions. Unfortunately, some citizens were not happy with these decisions of selling lands to the foreigners for an array of reasons. The money are not staying in the country, since foreigners are likely to invest their money somewhere else. Also, it damages the coastal ecosystem. They are killing corals due to the construction, reducing the fish population, and due to the removal of reefs and mangroves, there are no longer protection from erosion and wave damage. It makes the effect of climate change more damaging than it already is. These are all the functions. It appears that it brings more bad than good, although jobs are available. It affects Belizean society economically and environmentally. The Youth and Community Transformation Project is a comprehensive social intervention which responds to the challenges vulnerable groups are facing, particularly the youth of Southside in Belize City. This project helps some people access social services to reduce social exclusion among the youth that are at risk and also their families. It gives the youth the opportunity to enhance literacy and adaptive life skills, which helps them to develop their creativity and vocational skills as well. It has also caused youths to turn away from gangs and motivates them to receive an education and a better life. In turn, this has lowered crime rates gradually. These are all manifest functions. In addition, it has also removed community security and networking, which sets the foundation of solidarity within the community, thus allowing society to become stable. This is the latent function. Although changes is gradually occurring, there are some dysfunctions that disrupt the process. Not every child and family will get the help, for there are inadequate social infrastructure and limited access to social service. Also, not everyone is willing to take advantage of this program. For instance, some people may have a strong connection to the local gangs they cannot leave. Therefore, it will take a long time to achieve these goals for this.
According to sociologist Emily Durkheim, social facts are things within the social or cultural environment of an individual that determines or makes up their behavior and lifestyle. Factors that contribute to an individual's behavior include social norms, values, and other social structures.
Belize is a small country with a rich, distinguishable history. These cultures include the Mestizo, who are descendants of the Spanish and Maya, the Mayans, who are now separated into different groups, the Yucatec, the Quiche, and Mopan Maya, Garifuna, who are descendants of the Arakan Island Caribbean, Creoles, who originate from the mixture of West Africans and Europeans. East Indians are people of Indian descent that were brought into the Caribbean, Asians from China and Taiwan, and lastly, Mennonites. With a diverse amount of cultures, there are social facts that contribute to each and every one of these cultures.
Each individual person is shaped by what we know as culture. Culture gives the individual a different perspective of the world and how they are supposed to interact with others from either the same culture or a different culture, including to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong, and what your beliefs are. It depends on what cultural group or family you were raised by. There are many different cultures in our country, which can only mean some social facts are guaranteed to be disagreed upon due to differences in social norms in a particular culture.
With a vast variety of cultures here in Belize, many of them have different traditions that were passed down to them from generations. Religion and beliefs are examples, as the majority of cultures have some form of religious belief. Most mestizo are Catholics that practice sacred tradition such as baptism and marriage in the church. Meanwhile, the Garifuna incorporate a mixture of Catholicism and African and Indian beliefs. The drums that they play are important. There are many more religious beliefs that all have something to do with social facts within their respective cultures. Some cultural norms in Belize include mestizo men would sing a song called the Serenata outside the bedroom window of their beloved. The Garifuna culture has a spiritual leader, a boy, who leads the contact of a family with the deceased. In preparation of these spiritual gatherings with healing, drums and dancing, and a feast of seafood, meat, and cassava bread is prepared. The Maya also play a ritual game known as Pokotok. It was traditionally carried out to settle conflicts between warring groups and noblemen, but now it's just played for fun.
Mechanical and organic solidarity. Mechanical solidarity is the pre-modern society. Here's an example. Let's say this is Ben. Ben here is a sugarcane farmer, a mestizo, listens to ranchera, and loves to drink Corona. Not everyone in Ben's village had the same practices he had. They were sugarcane farmers, mestizos, listened to ranchera, and loved to drink Corona. Because everyone in the village is a state of homogeneity as Ben, they hold the similar values, work, lifestyle, knowledge, characteristics, and religion. But of course, there will be some differences such as gender, men with or without beards, body mass and shape, social roles with great responsibilities and privileges, and sometimes familial ties. These societies are bound together by their communalities, similitudes, and likenesses. This is called a collective consciousness. Pre-modern society is obviously very different from modern society in organic solidarity. There are a lot of different people, jobs, religions, values, experiences, and so forth. You may ask, what holds all these different people together? Interdependence, according to Durkheim, is that we need each other, and that is what holds modern society together. What interdependence means is that while all these people are very different, they rely on each other to keep the economy running. While Ben over here is sufficiently content eating sugarcane for the rest of his life, people in modern society rely on the butcher, the policeman, the doctor, the teacher, the mechanic, and so forth. The analogy here is that organic solidarity is like a human body with individual organs, each doing their own specialized job to keep everything functional and running. Although there is some collective consciousness here, some similarity, but it's limited to some very general and indeterminate ways. This is a really good reflection of modern society. We all have been pretty different experiences and values, but there are some basics that we all share in how we live, think, and feel. One thing in particular that is valued by most Western societies is individualism. Humans put more emphasis on the value of the individual rather than the larger society at hand. Durkheim also points out that even though individualism is collectively valued, it does not promote social solidarity. It is not society that attaches to us, but to ourselves. We are separate individuals bound together by our reliance on one another. One of the key differences between mechanical and organic solidarity is the division of labor. In mechanical solidarity, everyone pretty much did the same stuff if you date back to the societies of the hunter-gatherer era. But in modern societies, everyone has some highly specific specialized powerful individual people who can make specific individual parts, which come together to form an infrastructure that one person cannot build on their own. The downside of individuals only knowing how to make their own specialized parts is that they wouldn't be able to survive on their own. Another example of the differences between the two is how the law is carried out in these two societies. In a mechanical society, everyone tends to have the same values. So when someone breaks the rules, people will usually tend to respond emotionally and intensely, so you get these harsh biblical and medieval punishments. While in organic societies, everyone believes in different morals and you rarely don't see a huge mob of people running after you with pitchforks and such. But since people in organic solidarity interdepend on each other, they depend on everyone else to follow the rules and make sure that the system keeps running smoothly. Instead of harsh punishments, people tend to focus on correcting or reforming on who have broken the rules. An example of organic solidarity in Belize that I will be talking about will be about Spanish Lookout community. Spanish Lookout has been known to be one of the most productive communities in Belize. The society created in this community is the exact definition of a modern society. This community is self-sustainable with its essential businesses that are known all around Belize. Businesses such as Westrack, Farmers Trading Center, Western Dairies, Quality Poultry Products, Caribbean Tire, Reimer's Feed Mill, and Country Meats. There are also 3 gas stations, an international freight system, few hardware stores, car lots, grain dryers, food market, appliance stores, a clinic, with 3 ambulances and a fire station. Spanish Lookout also produces a lot of the local food products, which allows the country not to import as many goods. 60 years ago, the Mennonites had to work together in order for them to survive. Now in the present times, everyone has different roles in this community to keep this community running smoothly.
Theory of Anomie by Durkheim. As Durkheim said, Anomie is the absence of norms, meaning that the norms are unclear, conflicting, or unintegrated. Its meaning, definition, and an explanation as follows. First, we must understand Anomie. Anomie meaning is lack of the usual social or ethical standards in an individual or group. Durkheim believed that one type of suicide resulted from the breakdown of the social standards necessary for regulating behavior. For societal means, a social system is in a state of anomie when common values and common meanings are no longer understood or accepted, and new values and meanings have not developed. In a nutshell, anomie is the means by which a person or society is capable of understanding. If their purpose in society is unknown, or if society does not know the direction they should head or heading in, then an anomie is occurring. People who live during periods of anomie typically feel disconnected from their society because they no longer see the norms and values that they hold dear reflected in society itself. This leads to the feeling that one does not belong and is not meaningfully connected to others. If an entire society is experiencing an anomie, then this means that the society has no idea on what to do or how to move forward. If you did not know, COVID-19 itself has caused or is a contributor to being an anomie. The world with COVID-19. You might not know it, but a huge contributor to anomie would be COVID-19. This is because it hits a country without it even knowing at first, leaving people clueless with no idea how to react. COVID-19 has caused families to wonder what to do. It has caused society to hit a block on where to head and how to react. It can be confusing. As I said, COVID-19 is an anomie, leaving a society to wonder what to do. With people losing jobs, they are now experiencing an anomie since they do not know what direction society is heading in. Even our own country, COVID-19 has caused an anomie, leaving us confused. Some people who have lost their jobs turn towards crimes, as though they have no other choice due to society losing their norms and values. Corona in Belize. In Belize, corona cases have spiked recently. There is not much that we understand about it, and there is not much that we are doing to slow it down. This is causing the society to question the government, leading us into an anomie because we have no idea on where or what the economy is heading towards. A person who have got COVID-19 in Belize is experiencing anomie because since there is no actual cure or vaccine, said persona is only left with the thought that they are going to die. This is where feeling of meaninglessness and hopelessness begins to appear in one's mind. And as you can see on the left, this is the cases in Belize as of November 29th, 2020. Our Prime Minister is with the Ministry of Health wearing masks. Currently, the idea of an anomie has died down in Belize. When COVID-19 first hit, our country had no idea where or what has to be done, leaving people to experience an anomie. Individuals losing their jobs and not seeing any hope of gaining it back has been a victim of individual anomie.